Islam. Allah, the Father Universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my God, and my salvation by night and by day. Through his holy prophet, Juwali Amin, Islam. First, all rise, giving infinite praises to Allah, the Father Universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Honors to the first and fifth and last divine prophet, Noble Drew Ali, the Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, and Confucius return, the founder of the Moorish Science of America, the resurrection of the Moorish nation, 1913 AD. Honors to the past, present, and future leaders of the Moorish Science of America. Praise Allah for all brothers and sisters of the Moorish Science of America who are leaders and the fathers and mothers who are the harbingers who paved the way for the Moorish American to become Moorish leaders and good students. Honors to Brother Marcus Messiah Garvey Bey, the founder of the UNIA, the John the Baptist Return of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Honors to the UNIA, the past leaders of the UNIA. Honors to them. We give them honors where honors is due. Islam.
Take a look at it. Take a good look at that nose, what used to be that nose. Take a look at those lips, what used to be those lips. What happened to them? Why'd they blow them off? Napoleon did it. Then look at this nose, look at these lips. Think about it. Take a look at it. Take a good look at that nose, what used to be that nose. Take a look at those lips, what used to be those lips. What happened to them? Why'd they blow them off? Napoleon did it. Then look at this nose, look at these lips. Think about it. Take a look at it. Take a good look at that nose, what used to be that nose. Then take a look at those lips, what used to be those lips. What happened to them? Why'd they blow them off? Napoleon did it. Then look at this nose, look at these lips. Think about it. Take a look at it. Take a good look at that nose, what used to be that nose. Then take a look at those lips, what used to be those lips. What happened to them? Why'd they blow them off? Napoleon did it. Then look at this nose, look at these lips. Think about it.
Michael would always...
If you're ready.
Michael Jackson redefined dance with moves that became legendary. The moonwalk, 1983, stunned the world as he appeared to be walking forward while actually gliding backwards, a perfect illusion of effortless motion. The robot, inspired by street dance, showcased his mastery of sharp mechanical isolations. His spin, a lightning-fast pirouette ending in a dramatic pose, was unmatched in precision. The toe stand, balancing on the tips of his shoes, showed incredible strength and control. The crotch grab, though controversial, became a signature expression of his style. The anti-gravity lean, from smooth criminal, defied physics with a forward tilt that mesmerized fans. The side glide was a smooth sideways version of the moonwalk, MJ's signature link.
I get to the airport,
What happened to Michael Jackson?
You fought Mike Tyson.
Turn this into...
Football is back.
This into...
I get around was the time I pulled Pac out of the party, and I said, yo, they got 2 more hits on you. They already had 2 in Oakland, now they got 2 in LA. 4 people are paid to kill you. Take it easy. Take my key. Live in my... I get around was the time I pulled Pac out of the party, and I said, yo, they got 2 more hits on you. They already had 2 in Oakland, now they got 2 in LA. 4 people are paid to kill you. Take it easy. Take my key. Live in my... I get around.
Here's how the actors of House of Pain look today.
Steve Urkel's coming.
You know the rules, man. There's no rules. You know what? Bitch in the clique you claim.
This is the moment Kobe made a...
After me.
I don't have any words for this right now.
I relax, fit in.
Islam. Islam. Just to put the record straight, family, I'm your brother man, Morris Life. I'm doing my little content right now based upon observation, based upon what is being seen. The name of the show is called Lessons in Life Part 10. So there's like actually 9 other ones prior to this. So look into it. Peace and love, peace and blessings to everybody in the chat. Today's lesson is going to be a variety of things like everything else is in my shows. We have to hold ourselves accountable for our actions. And once we do that, and once we look in the mirror and we see that we need to change to do better, there's no room to try to change someone else if you can't change yourself. If you can't change yourself, you're wasting your time. I hear too many people trying to straighten out the Ku Klux Klan and, you know, the cartel and the gang members and all that stuff. The only people who can straighten them out themselves is to straighten out their lower self. The vibration energy's been going on since the time I was born, and before I was born, before I was on the manifest, coming back reincarnated. And I'm going to tell you, it's not life in the world that's the problem. It's the free will of people or reptilian or anti-human being or European who make the free will a choice the same as Lucifer has given the free will. We gotta be held accountable for what information what we receive, and we have to be held accountable for what our dieting. Everything in life is connected because no man lives unto himself. Everything in life is binded by cords by other living things. We can't tend to look at certain hardships and calamities in our life to remain stagnant and not to move forward. Sometimes these memories are there for a reason to better our condition, but we have to remain steadfast and try to be peaceful as possible without not only self-sabotaging ourselves but sabotaging someone else because we felt like they're more educated and whatever. Just because someone knows more information than you doesn't mean that you're not intelligent. It's just that your way of thinking and your way of approaching different problems in life is not the same as a person because people do not live the same lifestyle like you do. You got to be held accountable based upon your wrongdoings. But our society is in the hands of the wicked, as I keep saying in the previous shows, and this is the reason why wicked people, the Italians, everybody whose nation is consistent of mafia. Man, I'm telling you, you cannot say that you serve one master, but you love the master, but you love the other. And all you're doing is committing shirk. Shirk, whether it be Arabic, whether it be you holding yourself against other partners with Allah, or the shirk in English where you don't hold yourself accountable for the actions you do. Until the brothers and sisters get these lessons and their mothers and fathers tend to straighten up and teach their children between right and wrong. Because I have majority of the people tell me from time to time that, oh yeah, well everybody knows right from wrong. Not necessarily. Hate is being taught, just like love is being taught. Some people think that hate is love and love is hate. Well, you can't mix a vibration and energy of a higher degree versus a lower degree. And I'm going to get there Mexican brother, Islam, peace and blessings. Ninja Hunter, yeah, Islam, heaven high, peace and blessings. Yeah, so once we understand what our likes, dislikes, what we love, what we strongly don't like, what we agree or disagree with, we have to understand ourselves. Once we understand ourselves, family, then we cannot move forward and be in a better version of ourselves if we don't know our likes and dislikes. Then how are we going to be able to talk to the opposite sex and tell them what our likes and dislikes are and we don't even know? So you're going to get yourself involved in someone and they have to be like a father or mother and hold you by the hand and dictate to you what your likes and dislikes are. The problem is, if you speak the truth, you get in trouble, you get punished. If you speak lies and deceit, whether it be subliminally or not, you're going to be held accountable, but people feel more comfortable with lies and deceit because it's being carried through a daily basis. Whether you want to be called a black person, a Negro, a colored, a Afro-American, African-American, Latino, Chicano, Hispanic, Puerto Rican. I mean, come on now. I can go on for days about this. I can go on for hours about this topic. But once we be satisfied of what we're being called and what we're entitled to, what title that's given to us, then we become subservient to a way of life of group of people who are not American, who came from Europe. And when we understand where these words come from, they tend to be like a double-edged sword. It's going to cut you one way or another. But yet and still, you got webs on your back, picking cotton, doing this, doing that. You put our peoples is putting more work in on a plantation than the slave master is putting work in himself or herself. So now if you understand the reason why there's an unbalance between the common people and the other people who understand and know, you begin to understand where you are the problem. Either you're going to be about the problem or you're going to be about the solution. And these are the things that you have to constantly think about. If I say this to this person, is this right? If I call a person allegedly that they're not white, am I here to hurt people? No. What you're doing is the truth is going to make you free. Islam, Charmer, I see you. Islam, peace and love. I'm gonna tell you something, Charmer. Money and clothes does not make the man. It's the characteristics and free national standards that makes the man. So that's just folly and vanity. To want everything in the world where you lose your soul. You stop worshiping the one master, but you start worshiping the other. You become evil based upon consumption. Your consumption is your state of mind of what you feel and what you think perhaps is, but it's allegedly not, and it's not true. So when you look at shades of skin of olive, of hue, melanin, now you want to call them black because you feel like you're white and you're privileged and you're better than, but you are lazy. Your group of people call my group of people lazy. Well, we civilized nations for over thousands of years. But I don't see where my ancestors are lazy when we lived at Seville in the Iberian Peninsula, which is modern day Spain. I don't see where we're using Arabic words to complete the Spanish language, the French and the Portuguese and etc. See, you have to understand, in order to uplift the people's state of mind, you have to give them something uplifting instead of dumbing down them with the same old alcoholic way of thinking to accept and to be joyful of what you have and eating farmers' breakfast that you should be proud of, and that's part of your culture. But yet still you're lacking of culture when you call yourself Negro, Black, and Colored. You don't love yourself when you're not identified with a nationality. You don't love yourself when you take upon someone else's culture that's not yours, but you and again you serve these European wicked holidays and has nothing to do with the great God Allah. Yet and still you carry yourself to this place and you commit idolatry because you have a lowercase t in your building with colored windows and all this other stuff, and you bow your head and you see the preacher man right there in the pulpit, and while he's praying you are submitting to the crucifix, which has no purpose of salvation whatsoever. Right? So when you understand rituals, and when you understand cannibalism, and when you understand drinking blood, you understand that has nothing to do with ancient Moorish African culture. You understand that it's a European culture. So once you understand the difference between the culture and tying that into a modern day society, which they do in church, which is blaspheme, now you begin to understand and you're going to be able to put two and two together. Who is it that is creating these ideas? It can't be the so-called Negro, Blacks, and Colors because their history only goes back to 1779. But the marks were being put upon us in 1774, which is the Christian Black Codes, the redlining, to tell you how much money you can make based upon the color of your skin and your name. This is all, but the affirmative action has nothing to do with it. That debunks that. Civil Rights Act of 1964 debunks that. So all in all, you're not being saved as a so-called Negro, Black, and Colored, Latino, Chicano, Hispanic. Therefore, your rights and privileges are limited. So therefore, how are you going to be in the land of the free, but then again, you're a slave to certain statute of limitations? And certain things that's called penal codes and CVC codes, which is irrelevant, which is not law. Just because it's legal doesn't mean it's law. Prime example, CVC code, penal codes is not law. When they come up with the penal code 602 California law talking about you cannot trespass, well, wait a minute. Who is the one who came over here on that slave ship from Europe and came over here and called himself white and called my people black and Latino, Chicano, Hispanic, and so on and so on, and then they took over the land? So who trespassed on who? But then again, we have to follow the Ten Commandments, and this is what the problem is. The Masons don't follow the Ten Commandments. They say they do. The people in the church, they say they follow the Ten Commandments, but they say they do. But they got all this land, they got all this farming and stuff. Who gave them the land? Who gave them a deed to the land? They stole it. Like stolen legacy. Like they took the turbans and feathers off the Moor's head, removed the sandals from their feet. But to swear a death oath amongst the faithful and religiously, not to tell the Moorish children who they truly are. But the Moorish children are truly Negro, black, and colored folks. These are the words of George Washington. I can't make it up. So, if the so-called Negro, blacks, and colors are not calling themselves Negro, black, and colored, then where did they come from? I gave you the hint. It's George Washington. You're a big-time Mason. The one who swore an oath and swore a death oath. That's where the Masons get their oath from. George Washington. When you step into the military, swear another oath. But the Bible teaches us not to swear oaths. So a man swears an oath, so he should be held accountable by the oath that he swore into. You reap what you sow. You hide the secrets, you die with the secrets. But the secrets of truth is not going to change and pass away. You can't bury the truth, nor you can bury my people's truth. When you understand Moorish culture, you understand your brother man Moorish life. Because I understand what it's like to be a second-class citizen. I'm still working on to free myself from these statute of limitations and these contracts that I was forced upon me, which I had no agreements to by my mother and father. But I'm not at fault for them. But yet still, the lack of not knowing law is no excuse. I'm going to tell you something about money. Money doesn't change people. Or shall I say, the people change when they get money. You gotta start thinking, family. You gotta start thinking. If your value of your dollar, let's say you got $1,000 in the bank, what do you have collateral to back that up? Nothing. Where's your gold? You don't have it. Where your gold bricks? You don't have it. Wow. I guess that means money ain't everything. If the dollar was to crash tomorrow, how will you survive? Do you have your garden? Do you have your 90-day supply with the food? They're trying to. I'm gonna tell you something about the elite. They're trying to keep this thing going for a long period of time, but they understand their time is up because they worship Satan. The Jewish synagogues worship Satan, just like the church, who is being funded by the Jewish community, is ran by Satan. Regardless of which way you turn the crucifix, right is right, wrong is wrong. Whether it be upright, supposedly, which is a sword upside down, or a sword straight up. You gotta think about it. We can't continue to allow our children to be indoctrinated and be lied to, because one day they're gonna get older and they're gonna understand, why have I been lied to after all these years? And how come nobody didn't tell me the truth? And I'm going to explain why. Because it's not meant for the keys to be open to the truth at the time. The keys of truth is right there in front of you, but you just ignore those signs and symbols. Once you understand these things, then there's nothing else you can do. But the only one you can change is yourself. In order to change yourself, you have to first love yourself. Love and accept your flaws and your non-flaws. There's a thing called immortality and mortality. There's a part of you that's spiritual and there's a part of you that is carnal. Until you can put that carnal way stuff to the side, then you can understand conditions and situations. And when you understand conditions and situations, then whatever don't matter is going to change and pass away. Because your thought is the cause of everything. So once we tend to look at ourselves and want to change for the better, that's all we can do. We can't change people around us. Because we don't have slaves and more assignments. We demonstrate love instead of hate. I don't know about the rest of them ones. So you can hold anybody you want accountable. But the main person you have to hold accountable is yourself, family. That's what you gotta do. When you understand the difference in life, family, there's nothing else but to do but to just be yourself. Don't be your lower self, be your higher self. Be the Allah made manifest how Allah made you. When you love and want for the people as you want for yourself, you have no choice but to love them and show honor and respect. So, family, this is going to be a short show. Keep yourself occupied and do something positive with yourself. And once you pay attention to all these signs and symbols unfolding, then you can be able to change for the better. So then the father and mother have inconstancies that they pass down to their child. But it's up to the child as they learn through the toils of life to do better than their father and mother. So, need y'all to do me a favor. Y'all stay safe. Be peace. Be love. Nothing else. Y'all should be following them 10 Commandments and dietary laws Now those are the laws. Excuse me. Islam. Gotta get ready to go. Peace and love. Close out with more Shemaiah prayer. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah, my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day. Through the Prophet, Drew Ali, Islam.